Alright, today we're going to talk about congruence and transformations. So this is 8th grade, Chapter 8, Lesson 4. Okay, we'll start out with the definition of congruent. Same shape and size. That's important. Okay, we'll read down here. The transformations do not include a change of size. Okay, this would make the figures not congruent. So you have to keep that in mind when you're doing your worksheets, that these figures have to be the same size and shape. If you remember transformations from the last lesson, transformations include translations, which is a slide in any direction, reflections, which is the mirror image of that same figure, and rotations are a turn around a fixed point. So I have some examples down here. The first is translation. Okay, we can see that these figures have a slide or a change in any direction. Okay, but we're still facing the same way. Alright, a reflection. Okay, we've got two images here, two figures that are being reflected across that line of reflection right in the middle there. Facing each other, it's a mirror image. And the last one is rotation. So it is this image A is being rotated around a fixed point in the very middle there to get figure B here. Right? It is being rotated around a certain degree. For your work, we're going to identify first if the shapes are congruent, and then we'll identify the transformations, whether if it's translated, reflected, or rotated. Alright, I'm going to do one example from the homework practice, and then I'll let you ask any questions. Okay, so we'll do example 1 here. Alright, we see triangle ABC and triangle RST. Okay, like I said before, the first thing we need to do is identify if it's congruent or not. So we need to look and see if these two triangles are congruent, are the same size and same shape. I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Yes, they are congruent. Okay. Same size and same shape. So now I need to identify what angles go with each other. Okay, so we can see that B, angle B here, is in the right angle corner of our triangle. Okay, we need to see or identify which of these angles corresponds with B in order to figure out the transformations of this figure. Okay, so the right angle of this triangle will correspond with the right angle S of the second triangle. Alright, so we need to figure out a way from our notes that this triangle got from this position to this position. So back to our notes. Okay, is it translated? Did it move? Did it reflect? Or did it rotate? Okay, based on the figures that I've given you for your notes, it looks like it rotated around a fixed point. It stood up. Okay, the second I see it's not around a fixed point. So from our notes, this fixed point is stationary. Okay, your image should not move from that fixed point if it's just rotated. Okay, so there's a combination of transformations here. We've got a rotation. So first a rotation, we've identified that. So rotation. The second, okay, it wasn't reflected. We know that for a fact. And then translation would be the second transformation. Okay, it slid over. It changed direction. Okay. If there's any questions you have for me, please email me.